Okay, now we're recording. All right, so welcome. I'm Jen Dauber. It's good to see you all. Some of you I've seen for Meet the Teacher, and some I'll probably be seeing the next tomorrow. It's a couple days, but tomorrow is it. I can't believe we're already at Friday tomorrow. It's been going well. A little different than usual. We're used to, having half the class come in at a time and a little more energy and vibrance in the preschool, but right now it's one at a time and a little more quiet, but I'm sure when Monday comes, when all the kids are in the building again, it'll be that energy and feeling will be back in the preschool. So we're looking forward to it. So today I'm just going to go through the handbook. If you've gone to Meet the Teacher, you got a folder like this, and it has the handbook and the emergency card and some information from me and some information from the teacher. And if you haven't, that's okay. I'll have everything on the screen, and then you'll get it when you go to Meet the Teacher. Okay. So, like I said, bear with me as I share my screen. Okay. All right, can everybody see the PowerPoint? Awesome. So again, welcome to the 2021 school year. It's Atonement's 44th year of serving preschool to our community. And a little bit about me. Our family here went to Disney World back in February before all COVID hit, thank God. But anyway, this is the start of my 6th year as the director and 11th year on the staff. I started as a teacher's assistant, then moved up to teacher, and then promoted to director when our previous director retired. But then I also started thinking, like, I actually have been with Atonement for 15 years because there was 4 years prior to me being on staff where my kids were at preschool there too. So if you count it all together, 15 years at the preschool. I never really left. And then I've been a member of the church since 2008. And my husband and I have been married for 20 years. And our daughters were preschool alumni. And this is Riley here. She's a senior this year at Bciu, and Reese is a sophomore. I can't believe it. They just seem like they were preschoolers not that long ago. And one of the other things I do in my free time is volunteer with Girl Scouts. I'm currently serving as the service unit manager of the Wyomissing Girl Scouts. That means I'm in charge of like all the leaders, making sure they get all the information from Girl Scouts and make sure everything's going okay with their troops and everything. Which is also very weird because everything there is mostly virtual as well, and it's different. But this will be my last year as Riley graduates and we all move on to better and bigger things there. So what we're going to do today is focus on the handbook and a couple of the key points that we'll talk about on top of the rest of it is the drop off and pick up. This has changed a little bit since you probably received a letter in the mail, and it may even look different if you have the handbook in front of you because a few things have changed in the last week. And then there will be no security codes because we're meeting you at the door. There's no need to have codes to get in the building. I'll talk about the Blooms app for communication and our sick policy. All right, so let me go back here and switch to this screen. Okay, so here is the handbook. You can see that? Good. Thank you, Pastor Julie, for letting me know, because I never know if, yes, very first Zoom, one of the moms was like, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we can't. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm glad you interrupted. That would have been really, really bad if it would have gone the whole time. So on the front of the handbook is our basic general calendar of days where we'll be closed for holidays. Usually the calendar is a full page and it includes like conferences and Halloween parade and Christmas chapels and all those things we're hoping to be able to do. We're not sure in what capacity, but we'll assess it as we move through the school year. But this is the days that, or these are the days that will be closed. Pretty much follows Wyomissing. There are a few days at Christmas that I give my staff off that that Bciu doesn't have. And then spring break's a little different this year for Bciu. It's a little shorter than it usually is. And so that's for your reference. But we'll also have communication throughout the school year with goings on. There's my contact information. Email's probably the best way to contact me. We are using the Blooms app, which I'll go over that a little bit. That's another way that probably good to touch base. And then the website is a lot of information. If you aren't sure where to, if you need a form or if you need a question answered, go there. I try to update it regularly. In fact, I was updating it earlier. The next page just kind of goes through our developmental goals, our curriculum, our day-to-day stuff. And if you've been with Atonement before, you probably have seen all this. If you're new to Atonement, you may have seen it in our brochure that I gave you on our tour or on our website. So those are the things that we do on a daily day-to-day basis. We are a Christian preschool, so we do like to incorporate prayer and Christian values, and also chapel services. And as the school year progresses, we'll figure out how we can continue the chapel services in some way. We're not really sure if that will mean Pastor Julie and Mr. Yenser come down to the classrooms or how we'll do that, but we'll figure it out so that we can have those continued times of prayer and Bible study and stuff like that. And the music. Mr. Yenser always has fabulous music. Tuition payments, they're starting September 1st and the 1st of every month after that. If you've been at Atonement, you probably had a credit due to closing in the spring. So you should have received an invoice in the mailer that came out with your teacher placement. And whatever the date is on there is the correct due date. So some of you may not have a payment in September. Some of you may not have to pay until October or even November, depending on how things were for last year. If you ever have any questions, contact Mrs. Doyle. She's my extraordinary office assistant who does all the billing and invoicing. She'll be able to help you. She also is in the classroom this year, so just be patient with her if she doesn't answer you right away. If it's a little bit longer than you hope for an answer, just let me know and I'll touch base with her to make sure she gets in touch with you. All right, here's a few changes. I had already printed your handbook before I found out one of my teachers was leaving for a full-time job. So this is going to look a little different than what's in your book. But you can see where we're going to have drop off and pick up, and I will show you pictures of those doors in a few minutes so you can see where they are and on our campus. If you're in Mrs. Williams' class, you're Lundeen Hall. Mrs. Fallon's the preschool entrance, Mrs. Flom and Mrs. Hoffman is the church doors, and that's all between 9 and 9:10 for drop off and 12 to 12:10 for pickup. Mrs. Wally, a little more delayed to give her some time to get her kids to school, but also to spread kids out so we're not all bombarding doors at the same time. And then Mrs. Buzak, toddlers is 2-hour program. And then for Mrs. Searle's naturalist, if you're dropping off 12:30 at the preschool door, pick up 3 o'clock. And I can't believe that I'm even going to mention this, but like snow. If why I'm missing, because we follow them, if they have a 2 or 3 hour delay, we'll be 10 to 12. If they're closed, we're closed. And that'll all be communicated with you via the website or the Facebook page or the Blooms app. That way you can, everybody can stay safe on snow days. Excuse me. If you or your husband or wife are not the ones picking up your child on a certain day or a regular basis, just let us know who is. If it's grandma, aunt, uncle, whatever, babysitter. Just give the teacher a name and we'll check ID the first few days. If it's just a once-off type of thing, a note or an email is fine for that day. This year we have no issues with our parking lot. Last year it was under construction, but it's fabulous. It's huge. It's awesome. And you can park in the parking lot next to the church, bring them to the door. If for some reason you don't want to park in the parking lot, the boulevard is available. Just remember to watch for no parking and handicap signs and for traffic. Security codes will be deactivated or are deactivated at this time. As we move further into the fall and when it gets cooler, we'll reassess how things are going, and then we'll decide, if parents are allowed in the building, we'll reactivate the codes and update you all on that. we're trying to minimize adult bodies in the building as much as possible. And if so, you're aware the church is not open for indoor services. We're filming services that are aired on Sunday mornings, and we're also doing like a weekly on service. So we're sticking with the 25 or less indoor gathering that Governor Wolf has mandated, and Pastor Ryan is kind of trying to figure out, as we move closer to colder weather, how we can maybe get back inside. But for right now, for health and safety purposes, we are not having any church gatherings. The sick policy is very important. We really, really need all your help to keep on top of this. If your kiddo is not feeling well and has any of these symptoms, please keep them home. And this holds true for my staff as well. I know there's been times where we've all come in with a little bit of a cold. They're going to be staying home as well if they're not feeling well. Students must be fever-free and symptom-free without use of medication for 72 hours before returning to school. And that you can see like all these symptoms, and I'm sure you're already aware of this. These are the COVID symptoms, but at the same time, they're also symptoms for upper respiratory infection, you know, those kinds of things. So we're just asking, if they're new, keep them home, keep an eye on them. If, you know, after 72 hours without medication, they're feeling better or things are getting improving, then they can come back to school. And later on in the plan, later on in the screenshot, you'll see the COVID information. If they would have to get tested for COVID, there's a plan for that and all that. So, and let me know if they're sick so that we can kind of keep an eye on, you know, other kids in the class and how many days they've been out, those kinds of things. The health form, should have gotten that in the mail, probably in the first mailer that I mailed out with the health and safety plan at the end of July. So if you have that filled out, bring that to meet the teacher or the first day of class. If you need another form, they're on the website, or I can give you a blank one when you come in. And we need those on file as soon as possible. We provide snack. We're peanut free, so if your kiddo is staying for the afternoon, make sure there's no peanut butter. Birthdays, we don't do treats, but we do sing and give them a crown. Discipline is usually not an issue at preschool because they usually like to comply, but if we have some struggles, we redirect. We try to get them to use positive problem solving, you know, verbalizing their issue or whatever. And then if there's something that's a little more needing your attention, we'll share that with you and maybe come up with a game plan to work together on how to handle any issues like that. Communication, we're using the Blooms app this year. It's a free app on your phone, or you can go on the website, and every teacher will have a code for their classroom, as well as the preschool has a code. So when you get your paper copy of your handbook, the very last page tells you how to access it. If you're a new parent that has never used it before, if you're an existing parent who has, and then there's a code for the preschool. The preschool one will be from me, primarily like, you know, if we have a snow day or if it's raining and we have to enter the building a different way, those kinds of things. Also for you, if you're running late, say you hit traffic or something and you're not making your 10-minute window of time for drop off, text me via the app and say, hey, we're running late, and I'll tell you where we can meet so that the child can come into school. And then the teachers, they'll have their own code for just their class, and then that could be for any communication between you and the teacher. The teacher can post pictures. Some teachers use it for their party signups, especially now if we're going to have a party and we need something brought in and you're not coming in the building, then this will make it a lot easier as well. The other form of communication that I use is Mailchimp, which is a platform for like a bulk email. And that comes from me on a Friday afternoon. It's a newsletter, like a weekly newsletter. If you don't see it tomorrow afternoon around 3:30, check your spam. If you have a Gmail, I've found out that it goes to your promotion folder often. And check those two places. And if you still haven't received it by, you know, Monday or whatever, they'll let me know maybe your email address is not typed in correctly. You may have already received some from me because I have been kind of already sending them. And then the students have a mailbox too to put home paper. Wash and wear clothes, pack an extra set in the backpack, and wear sneakers because that's best for the playground. And then we're asking nothing in the backpack other than the change of clothes. You know, when it gets cool out, a coat's fine, but keep, you know, toys from home, at home, and anything else happen to be in the backpack. If you're a toddler mom or dad, then that's a little different because you're going to keep like diapers and that kind of stuff in there too. And let's see, Mrs. Buzak will talk about that. Okay. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. So I do have a question.
Okay.
So I would like to know who's my son teacher. Well, I received like a letter saying that Williams, I think it was the teacher.
Okay.
So I need to know like the last names for the sign up genius.
Who am I talking to?
Diana.
Who is it? I'm sorry.
Diana.
And what's your child's name?
Joshua Moina.
Okay. There should be, okay. You should have gotten the link. I'm confused. What's your child's name again?
Joshua Moina.
And he signed up for preschool?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me have, can I talk to you at the end, one-on-one?
Sure, of course.
Okay, that'd be great, because I'm a little confused, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, no problem, thank you. Okay. So let me go back here. All right, so the health and safety plan was mailed out in July, and it really hasn't changed much, or at all, I should say. But it could be updated as things progress here, or hopefully not progress, but get better. So we talked about drop-offs and pickups. Please make sure that your child, if they're over three and over, have a mask on at drop-off. What's going to happen is you're going to come to the door, your assigned door. We're going to temperature check the child, and then we're going to have them come in and sit in the lobby, and then you can go on your way. And then we'll have some hand sanitizer for them. And then at pickup, they'll have their mask on, and we'll dismiss them at the door. Once they get to the classroom, they are not required to keep the mask on. If you'd like them to, just let us know. We'll do our best to have them keep them on. I'm giving all the kids a lanyard that attaches to their mask so that they can hang their mask up on the hook. Or if they're wearing their mask and they maybe need a mask break, then they can take it off and it hangs from their neck. So that's that. Let's see. Symptoms again, you're going to get a magnet in your folder that has all the screening symptoms. Please just keep an eye on that every day. If any of those symptoms are happening, just keep them home. Not sure what we're going to do if it rains yet for drop off and pickup, but we'll figure it out as it comes. And then, like I said, masks will be required by preschool staff. Kiddos will not be required in the classroom, but at drop off and pickup. And then all parents and caregivers, please wear masks as well. And also social distance while you're waiting for to come in to drop off your kiddo. I don't have any signs or like dots or anything outside yet. I'm just you know, trusting that there's space outside that it'll be easy enough to do. And then in the classroom, of course, kids are, you know, they don't know what personal space is in preschool, so we'll do our best. The big thing we're doing is cohorts, which means that each class is going to be in their class with their classmates and teachers pretty much the whole day except for recess. And I've put in time in their schedule so that they're not passing each other in the hallways to go to the playground. And then table time, whether it be playing, snack, or whatever, there'll only be 4 to a table, and then at circle time, they'll be spread out. Our big things are cleaning and hygiene. So cleaning, it was already happening already, but we're just amping it up. All classrooms and bathrooms will be cleaned daily. Tabletops and common surfaces will be cleaned throughout class. All our toys and manipulatives and all that kind of stuff that are touched throughout the day will be sprayed with a food grade sanitizer at the end of the day. I have a cleaning person Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and a cleaning crew on Wednesdays. And the crew comes in and cleans, but also then sprays this fogger mist sanitizer in all the rooms. And it smelled really good this morning because they were there last night. So that's nice to know that that's going to be done. And then they'll make sure they wash their hands before and after sand and anything like that. Right now, we're not doing puppets or stuffed animals or subs. Okay, if a kiddo gets sick while they're with us, we'll isolate them in a classroom and call you, and then we'll meet you at the door for pickup. And then if a student or staff member is confirmed positive with COVID, they'll have to remain home for a minimum of 10 days after the symptom onset and 72 hours after his or her fever resolves without medication and the respiratory symptoms improve. And then if your child or staff member is exposed to someone who's tested positive, we're asking them to self-quarantine. And I'll be honest, this is all brand new to all of us, right? So more than likely, if any of these things happen, I'm dialing Department of Health to find out what exactly we need to do, because it is constantly changing. So just let me know, and then I can, figure out what the next step is. My understanding is if it's in one classroom, it's just that classroom that has to quarantine, not the whole school. But we'll figure it out as we go. And we're going to cross our fingers that nothing happens and that we all stay healthy and safe. And show and tell, field trips, extracurricular programs, and large group activities are on hold for right now. Bciu support staff, any students that get special help from them, that'll be virtual, and parent volunteers will be discontinued at this time. Tuition schedule there, first of the month. And then last but most not least, these ladies are so important to me. They were huge help with coming up with the health and safety plan so we can open. Meg's on today. I know the other ladies were on previously, and there were 2 other ladies that were so helpful that have stepped down over the summer. So these ladies are the board. They are there to help you if you have any questions or concerns. A liaison between me and you. If you are more comfortable talking to a parent, then you are coming to me, but know that I'm always available. Email, call, Blooms, text me, whatever. Okay. All right. Any questions about anything that I talked about? Okay. A couple more slides on the PowerPoint and then we'll be done. Okay. See what's up here. Okay, so if you're not familiar with our building, we have our parking lot, and next to the parking lot is the church. This is the church door A and church door B, and there's signs, you just can't see them on the picture. So that's where those doors are. And then you walk down the sidewalk a little further, and you find steps that come down to the preschool lobby. There's my office. So that's the preschool entrance. And then if you would stay on the sidewalk a little bit further, there's Lundeen Hall, which is our old church. That's for Mrs. Williams' class. Again, we're using Blooms and Mailchimp for our communication. And I'll show you the Blooms paper that's in the handbook then. And then at orientation, on your folder, you'll get an emergency card like this, half a sheet, just fill that out. Some teachers are having you fill it out right then and there. Others are just sending them home. Whichever they do is fine, just as long as we get it back the first day of class. The medical form, and in the health and safety plan, there was like a waiver to sign off on. If you could return those by the end of next week, that would be great. If you need any of those, you can find them on the website. The emergency card's not on the website, but that'll be given to you right away. The other 2 are on the website, and if you can't find them or need them printed, let me know and I'll get you copies. We're asking for donations of any of these items that are definitely going to be our saving grace this year. Hand sanitizer, what I call the holy grail, the Clorox and Lysol sanitizing wipes, because they're so hard to find. And then right now we're not doing Play-Doh, but we'd like to have flat containers with lids so that we can give each kid a container of their own Play-Doh to play with. So those would be helpful. Ziploc bags are always good to have on hand. For crafts, empty paper towel and toilet paper rolls are always good to have. Newspapers and magazines for crafting. And then more monetary donations are appreciated as well. You can send a check-in, and in the memo you can write preschool COVID fund, or if you pay online, you can go onto the website and choose that as your line item if you do donate. And these are things that I'll say, like, we probably will ask for throughout the year, especially the hand sanitizer and wipes, because they'll get heavily used throughout the year. And besides those things that are physical things that we need, all of us, I think, need to remember to keep these 3 things in mind, all teachers, staff, and parents: patience, flexibility, and grace. You know, we'll be patient with you. If you're patient with us, then it's so much appreciated. This is all new, lots of protocols in place that are going to just need to become habit for us as a staff. So just hang in there while we're checking temperatures and those kinds of things. Flexibility, right now the plan is in place, but as I always say, the plan is fluid and we have to be flexible. And then grace, just know that we're all in this together and supporting each other as much as we can. And last but not least, thank you so much for entrusting us with your children, because if you weren't sending your children, we wouldn't be able to be open. So we're so happy that we have kiddos joining us this year, and we're excited to get started. I know things will be a little different, but I'm looking forward to, and my staff is looking forward to, having the kids come back in, having circle time, starting arts and crafts, playing on that playground. So we're all looking for what is some sense of normalcy in our lives. So, all right. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to show you the Bloom's paper that's at the, let me see. Always fun with this technology. Away, there it is. There. So at the back of your handbook, this is what it looks like. And it'll show you how to join Bloom's as a new parent or an existing parent. And like I said, it's kind of like a Facebook, but it's private. And you'll get, this is the code for the whole preschool, and then each teacher will give you a code. So if you have multiple kids, you might have multiple classrooms that you're a part of. And you can separate them out on your feed and stuff like that. But it'll be a nice way to be able to communicate, share pictures, and give updates and things like that. Okay. And some of the teachers don't have this paper together yet, but hang in there. They'll have it next week if they don't have it this week. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. I think this is my 5th one, so I feel like I might be forgetting something, but I don't, maybe it's just because I've done it 4 times prior that it went that smoothly. Does anybody have any questions?
So the Bloom's page that you just showed, that's the code for the entire preschool, right?
It is, yep.
Okay.
Who's that
Thank
talking?
You. Angela Martin, Carter's mom.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Yes, and that'll be in the, you came today, it's at the back of the handbook, so.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Sure, no problem, thank you. All right, well, I'm looking forward to Monday when we start school, but I see some of you tomorrow for Meet the Teacher, and if some of you have already seen this week, so this is awesome, I'm excited. And if there are no other questions, then I will go ahead and let you all sign off, and I'll hold on and talk to the one mom who had a question about her son. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. See you later. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you all.